Simple advice on choosing research projects. In this video, I'll try to convince you that at every career stage, you should think of research selection as an active strategy, and not as projects being something that is just dumped on you. It is dangerous to be driven purely by research and not have a strategy. We all dream, of course, of the unicorn project that combines the best of all worlds. It's low risk, it's high reward, and it's little work. However, I hope that we are also all aware that unicorns are magical creatures and do not actually exist. Realistic projects live in a triangle of trade-offs where you're trying to balance risk, reward, and the amount of work involved. I'll go over the project archetypes with bioinformatics examples, and these include the safe choice projects, the calculated risks, and the low-hanging fruits. I will also mention the dangerous pointless time sinks and talk about how you design your project portfolio. Let's start with the safe choices. These are the projects that live in the left side of the triangle, having low risk, reasonable reward, but involving a lot of work. This is the kind of hard work that is the foundation of science and that other researchers can build upon. For that reason, it's generally easy to publish. In bioinformatics, examples include designing high-quality databases, manually annotated corpora for text mining, and providing independent benchmarks of other people's methods, finding out which method is the best for a certain task. The problem with these kind of projects is, of course, that they are very resource intensive, primarily in the form of your time. The second class of projects are the calculated risks. These are the ones that live in the top of the triangle. They are high risk, high reward, and also a lot of work. So this is the kind of high risk, high reward research that everybody says they want to do, but unfortunately it also means that hard work is not enough. You need an element of luck as well for this to work out. If it does work out, it can shape your career though. In bioinformatics, this can include creating the first tool for doing something, solving new problems that nobody solved before, or answering biological questions. What all of these have in common is that there's no guarantee that it works out, and if it doesn't work out, you may get no reward at all for the time you put into it. The third class of projects are the low-hanging fruits. They live in the lower right-hand corner of the triangle. They are valid scientific work that can give you a quick, easy paper. In bioinformatics, the examples would be making small, useful tools that are no big deal, spin-off projects that are sort of side quests on your main projects, and even the kind of work that could just have been supplementary material of a different paper, but it could also be turned into a paper in its own right. It should be mentioned, though, that it's not always worth making a paper, because if it's a small project, you may end up spending more time writing it up than you spend on doing the research. Pointless time sinks are the kinds of projects you want to avoid at all cost. They combine the worst of all worlds, being high risk, low reward, and a lot of work. In bioinformatics, the typical example is to make yet another method for something where there's already plenty of methods. This means that even if it works, it's only going to be a marginal improvement. For that reason, it will be difficult to publish, and you'll need to do extensive comparison to other methods to convince people that your method is better, and for that reason, it will be a ton of work. So what does this mean for designing your project portfolio? You want to have a balanced basket of projects that has a healthy balance between risk and reward. In other words, doing risk management. You want to have some of the safe projects in your basket, but you also want to have some of the ones that can really make a difference to your career. At the same time, you need to think about time management. If you fill up all your time with big projects that are resource intensive, you will have no time to pick the low-hanging fruits. Having a healthy combination of the three types of projects can really ensure that you produce the kind of research output that you will be evaluated on later. I hope you found this video interesting and that it will help you in your career. If you want to learn more about how to, for example, publish scientific papers, take a look at this video next. Thanks for your attention.